At Arizona State University, we're bringing world-class education from our globally acclaimed faculty to you. Earn your degree from the nation's most innovative university. Online. That's a degree better. Learn more at asuonline.asu.edu.
You know how the end of the NBA regular season just kind of hits? And suddenly everyone's talking brackets, predictions, and you feel like you're playing catch-up.
Yeah, absolutely. It comes fast.
Well, think of this as your personal shortcut. We're doing a deep dive into the 2025 NBA playoffs before they kick off, really getting you the essentials you need right now.
Exactly. We've pulled together info from the official NBA sources, naturally, plus top sports news guys like ESPN, CBS Sports, and analytical sites too, like Basketball Reference.
Right. The usual suspects.
Yeah, the goal is basically to cut through the noise and give you a clear picture of what's likely coming.
And our mission for this deep dive is pretty simple. Over the next, say, 30 minutes, we want to lay out a full but, easy-to-grasp view of the playoffs. We'll hit on what the regular season and that play-in tournament mean for all this, the actual playoff structure, brackets, and all that, key stories to watch in the East and West.
Potential big matchups.
Exactly. Plus, players who could really make a difference and maybe some strategic trends we're expecting to see. We did the homework so you don't have to sort through like a million articles.
Okay, so let's start with how we even got here. The road to the playoffs, right? The 2024-2025 regular season had its usual share of twists and turns.
Definitely.
Some teams really stepped up, played way better than maybe we thought. And others kind of stumbled, didn't quite hit those expectations.
Yeah, there are always those surprises and disappointments.
And throughout the season, you likely had some key trades, maybe coaching changes, things that definitely shifted the ground under some teams heading into this postseason.
For sure. And the play-in tournament, it's not so new anymore, but it still adds that jolt of last-minute drama, doesn't it? Yeah. Finalizing those last few spots.
Oh, absolutely. It ramps up the excitement. It'll be interesting to see who came through that this year.
Right. And does surviving that pressure cooker actually help them? Are they battle-tested?
Yeah.
Or just tired?
Heading into round one, what do you think? That's a really good question. Because on one hand, yeah, they've been playing playoff-level intensity games already, elimination games.
Builds grit, maybe?
Could be, builds resilience, but they've also played more high-stress games recently, more potential wear and tear, right? Compared to a team that locked up their seed early and maybe rested guys.
Good point. So it probably depends a lot on the team itself, like their bench depth, injuries.
Exactly. And just the mental side of it, too. How did they handle those play-in games? Are they drained or are they riding a wave?
Okay, so beyond just who got in and where they're seated, there are always these narratives, right? These storylines heading into the playoffs.
Always.
You might have, a team trying to make up for last year's flame out.
Adventure arcs, yeah.
Or maybe a big rivalry between two stars finally plays out in a series. Or a young team that's suddenly looking really dangerous.
The up-and-comers.
Yeah. Or that veteran superstar chasing the ring to kind of cement their legacy. Which of those feels particularly strong this year based on what we've been seeing?
The story of the young contender always grabs me. Teams that built something, developed players, had a great regular season.
Right.
And now they're hungry to prove it against the big dogs in the playoffs. But that lack of deep playoff experience, it cuts both ways, doesn't it?
How so?
Well, they might play free, kind of fearless.
Right.
But they also haven't really felt the pressure cooker of a 7-game series, the adjustments, the scrutiny.
Where every possession feels massive.
Exactly. So seeing if that regular season magic holds up when everything gets turned up to 11, that's always compelling stuff.
Okay, cool. So teams are locked in. Stories are brewing. Let's get into the nuts and bolts. The playoff structure itself, quick refresher. East and West, top 8 teams from each make it in.
Yep, seeded 1 through 8 based on their regular season record. Simple as that.
And that seeding sets up the first round, right? 1 plays 8, 2 plays 7.
Correct. And, traditionally, the higher seed should have the advantage. Home court, better record usually means a better team on paper. But we see it every year, don't we? Lower seeds find a good matchup. Maybe they get hot at the right time. Upsets happen. That's the beauty of it. Regular season gets you in the door, but then it's a new ballgame.
Totally. So once those first round pairs are set, it's not just one game. It's a best-of-7 series. Can you walk us through how that works, home court and all that?
Sure. Best of 7 means first team to win 4 games moves on. Pretty straightforward.
Right.
The higher seed gets that home court advantage. So they host game 1, game 2. Then it shifts to the lower seed's place for games 3 and 4.
Okay.
Then, if the series goes longer, it alternates back. Higher seed gets game 5 at home, lower seed gets game 6.
And if it goes the distance, game 7 is back at the higher seed's arena.
Exactly, that classic 2-2-1-1-1 format.
Yeah.
And having those potentially decisive games, 5 and 7, on your home floor, that can be a big deal. The crowd, the routine, it matters.
Yeah, no doubt. Now, trying to follow all this, the schedule always feels like a whirlwind during the playoffs. What actually goes into deciding when these games are played?
It's a juggling act, really. TV's a huge driver, obviously.
How to get those eyeballs?
Right. Networks want the big games in prime slots. Then there's arena availability. These places host concerts, other sports. Got to work around that. And just logistics, travel time between cities. You need to give teams reasonable rest, especially flying cross-country.
Makes sense.
So it's complex. That's why checking the official NBA schedule, Googling NBA schedule today during the playoffs is always the best bet for the latest, most accurate info. Things can shift.
Good tip. Okay, so teams win their first round series. Then what?
Winners move on to the conference semifinals. Still best of 7, still within their conference.
I got it.
Win that, and you're in the conference finals. Now you're playing for the conference championship banner.
East champ and the West champ.
Exactly. And those two winners then face off in the NBA finals, the big one. Best of 7 for the Larry O'Brien Trophy.
The ultimate prize. Okay, switching gears slightly. For fans wanting to actually go to these games, finding NBA playoffs 2025 tickets is probably going to be crazy. Any advice there?
Yeah, it gets intense. Your first stops should be the official NBA ticket sellers and the team's own websites.
Right. Primary market first.
Definitely. But demand is super high, so the resale market, StubHub, SeatGeek, those places gets very active too.
And probably very expensive.
Oh, yeah. Prices generally go up each round. Finals tickets. Astronomical sometimes. Just be careful on resale sites, check seller ratings, understand the fees, make sure the tickets are legit.
Good call.
Yeah.
And when do tickets even go on sale?
It varies. Keep an eye on official announcements once the matchups in the NBA playoffs 2025 schedule get firmed up. Game dates and times have to be set first, usually.
Okay, makes sense. Let's dive into the conferences now. Starting East. Based on the sources, what do those top seeds in the East usually look like? What are their common strengths?
Well, the teams consistently grabbing those top spots, maybe seeds 1, 2, 3. They tend to be really balanced. You look at the stats from the regular season. And they're often strong on both ends, like top 10, maybe top 5 in offensive and defensive efficiency.
So no glaring weaknesses.
Generally, yeah. They usually have a clear way they want to score. Maybe it's shooting a ton of threes, maybe pounding it inside, maybe great pick-and-roll play.
Got it.
And defensively, they're usually very disciplined. They communicate well. They often have guys who can really lock down opponents. Plus, almost always, there's a main star, right? A leader who delivers in the big moments.
It's a go-to guy.
Exactly. And how they fared against other good teams during the season, that can tell you a lot about whether they're truly ready.
Okay, what about the teams kind of in the middle? Say, seeds 4 through 6. Good teams, obviously they made the playoffs, but maybe not dominant like the top couple. What's their potential to shake things up?
Yeah, those mid-tier teams are often super interesting. They've shown they can hang, right? And they often have a specific strength that could really bother a higher seed.
Like what?
Maybe they have one unstoppable scorer. Or maybe their defense is just nasty at forcing turnovers. Or maybe they have a really sharp coach who's great at playoff adjustments.
The coaching factor.
Huge factor. Their path to an upset often involves leaning hard into that strength, or maybe exploiting a specific weakness they see in that top seed. But the reason they're mid-tier is usually some inconsistency.
Right. Maybe they have off nights more often.
Exactly. And over 7 games, that can catch up to you against a really solid, consistent top team.
Okay. Then you've got the lower seeds, 7 and 8, and the teams that maybe battled through the play-in. What's their mindset usually, and what are their realistic chances?
Well, often they're kind of playing with house money, right?
Yeah. Less pressure, maybe.
A little bit. Just making it might have been the goal. Or exceeding expectations, so they can play looser. And if they got hot late in the season or won those play-in games, they might have some real momentum.
That can be powerful.
It can. Their best shot usually needs a few things to go right. Like their star player has to go absolutely nuclear. The matchup stylistically needs to favor them somehow. Or maybe the higher seed just kind of overlooks them, doesn't take them seriously enough early on.
It happens.
It does. But history shows it's tough. Consistently beating a team with more talent and usually more experience over potentially 7 games, that's a tall order.
Let's talk specific matchups then. In the East, thinking about what the sources highlight, any potential player battle or like a strategy clash that seems particularly juicy, not just star versus star, but maybe something more specific.
Well, one thing you might see, based on typical team builds, imagine a top seed whose offense really flows through a dominant scoring forward. And maybe they draw a lower seed that's known for, like, scrappy, excellent guard defense. Really good at getting steals, disrupting passing lanes.
Okay, so the clash is...
Can that guard-oriented perimeter defense actually slow down the star forward? Can they deny him the ball, force turnovers before he even gets going? Or does the forward's talent just eventually win out? That kind of offense versus defense, strength versus strength battle, that can decide a whole series.
Interesting. Okay, let's pivot west. The Wild West, as they say, often feels like a total dogfight out there. What makes the Western Conference playoffs feel, I don't know, different sometimes?
Depth. That's the word that always comes to mind for the West. Sheer depth.
Meaning even the lower seeds are tough.
Yeah, exactly. You look at the teams seeded, say 6, 7, 8 in the West, often those teams would be serious contenders for maybe a top 4 seed in the East.
Wow.
There's often just a higher concentration of teams that genuinely believe they have a shot at the title, so even those first-round matchups can feel like conference finals sometimes.
Intense right from the jump.
Totally. The top seeds out west are usually absolute juggernauts, battle-tested, often with guys who've been deep in the playoffs before, and those mid-tier teams, super dangerous because maybe they just missed out on home court but have all the talent needed to make a run. It just leads to less predictable outcomes sometimes, tighter series across the board.
So when we analyze the West, we're still looking at the same basic things as the East, right? Strengths of top seeds, upset potential, lower down, spoiler alert.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. The framework is the same. You're still looking at who are the key players, how good is their offense, how good is their defense, coaching strategies, playoff experience, team resilience.
Right.
But the flavor of the West might be different. Maybe there's more emphasis on a certain style of play, or maybe there are just some really intense, long-standing rivalries between franchises that add extra spice to any potential matchup.
And like in the East, there must be potential key matchups brewing out west that the analysts are already circling. Maybe a specific guard rivalry or a coaching chess match.
Yeah, one common one that generates buzz in the West is often a clash between 2 really elite point guards. You know, the guys who run the whole show for their teams.
Floor generals.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's not just about who scores more. It's about who orchestrates the offense better, who gets their teammates involved, who makes the smart plays late in games. And then how does the other team try to stop that guy? Do they trap him? Swish everything. It becomes this fascinating game of adjustments between the players and the coaches, possession by possession sometimes.
Man, I love watching those unfold.
Yep.
Okay, let's zoom in on the players themselves. We talk about stars. What usually happens with them when the playoffs start? Do they find another gear?
It certainly feels that way, doesn't it?
Yeah.
The playoffs are really where legends are made. The intensity ramps up, every game matters more, and the true stars, they often rise to that. You see them shouldering more of the scoring load, making the absolutely critical plays in the clutch, just showing this incredible focus. Sometimes you can even look back at the regular season. How did they play in close games? How did they play against other top teams? That can give you clues about who's ready to elevate.
But it's not just the stars, right?
Yeah.
We always hear about role players stepping up. Why are they so crucial in a playoff run?
Oh, they're absolutely vital. The unsung heroes, really. Think about it. In a 7-game series, defenses are laser-focused on stopping the main guys.
Right. Game planning revolves around them.
Exactly. So you need those other players to do their jobs consistently. Hit the open shots when the stars get double-teamed, play tough defense on the opponent's secondary scorers, grab key rebounds, make the simple, smart pass.
The dirty work sometimes.
A lot of it is, yeah. And sometimes you see a role player just catch fire for a series. Someone who wasn't a huge factor all year suddenly becomes indispensable. Those unexpected contributions can swing a series.
And then there are the coaches pulling the strings. How much does coaching really matter when you get to this stage?
It matters immensely. Playoffs are like a high-stakes chess match. Series evolve game by game. Coaches are constantly scouting, looking for weaknesses, adjusting their game plans. Should we switch defenses? Should we change our rotation? Who matches up best against their hot hand? When do we call that crucial time out?
So many decisions.
Constantly. A coach who can outthink and outadjust their counterpart gives their team a massive advantage. It's not just about drawing up plays, it's about managing the entire flow and strategy of a 7-game battle.
Okay, last piece of the puzzle, maybe the hardest to measure. Team chemistry, leadership, dealing with tough moments. How important is that stuff?
It's incredibly important. You can have all the talent in the world on paper.
Right.
But if the team doesn't click, if they don't communicate well, if there isn't strong leadership when things get tough, they'll probably fold under playoff pressure.
Adversity hits everyone eventually.
Exactly. Every playoff run has moments where things go wrong. An injury, a bad loss, a tough call. The teams that can stay together, trust each other, pick each other up, those are the teams that often go the furthest. That belief, that resilience, it's often the secret sauce.
Looking bigger picture now, strategically, any overall offensive or defensive trends you expect to see maybe become more common or maybe evolve during these playoffs?
Well, offensively, you'll likely see teams double down on what worked for them in the regular season, but maybe with even more focus on exploiting very specific mismatches. Data plays a big role here, too, finding the most efficient shots against this specific opponent.
Tailoring the attack.
Right. And defensively, discipline becomes even more critical. Teams will try to take away the primary option of the other team. That might mean more complex switching schemes, maybe more aggressive traps on star players, really trying to make secondary guys beat them. Adaptability is key. The teams that can tweak their schemes effectively from game to game will thrive.
What about the pace? Does the game slow down in the playoffs, typically?
Often, yeah. It tends to get more deliberate, more half-court focused.
Why is that?
Well, each possession just feels more valuable, right? Teams might be less willing to risk a turnover on a quick transition play. They want to work for a good shot. But teams that like to play fast will still try to push it.
So it becomes a battle of wills over tempo.
Exactly. Can the fast team force the slow team to speed up uncomfortably? Or can the deliberate team bog down the runners in the half court? Controlling the pace is definitely a strategic goal.
We always seem to get some wild results in the playoffs too, right? Players going off unexpectedly, teams winning games they shouldn't. What causes those kinds of statistical outliers?
It can be a bunch of things. Sometimes a player just finds an incredible rhythm. Maybe a matchup really suits their specific skills. Confidence is huge too. A guy hits a few shots early, suddenly he feels like he can't miss.
The hot hand.
Yep. Or maybe the team collectively just clicks in an area they usually struggle with, like suddenly they become amazing on the offensive boards for a series. And, of course, the unpredictable nature of the game itself plays a part. Weird bounces, lucky shots.
And injuries, too, I guess.
Oh, definitely. Injuries are the big wild card that can lead to unexpected outcomes. Which brings us to that point.
Right. Injuries always seem to hang over the playoffs. How badly can losing a key player wreck a team's chances?
It can be absolutely devastating. Losing a star doesn't just remove their scoring or defense. It forces everyone else into bigger, maybe unfamiliar roles.
Puts way more pressure on the supporting cast.
Huge pressure. Teams with great depth can sometimes manage it, find ways to cope, but often losing your best player, or maybe even your second best player, it's just too much to overcome against elite competition. It forces massive strategic shifts and basically requires near-perfect play from everyone else.
Man, it's a tough business. Well, this has been super helpful. A really great look ahead at the 2025 NBA playoffs. We've covered a lot.
Yeah, we hit the road here, the play-in impact, the structure itself.
The key stories, potential matchups in the East and West, the importance of stars, role players, coaches.
And those bigger strategic trends, and unfortunately, the potential impact of injuries.
Right. So hopefully we've painted a pretty clear picture.
Yeah, I think so. It definitely looks like it's shaping up to be another exciting postseason. All the ingredients are there.
Absolutely. So for everyone listening, as you get ready to watch the 2025 NBA playoffs, here's something to think about. Based on our chat today, which team's strategy are you most curious to see play out? Is it a defensive approach, an offensive style, maybe how they use a specific player?
That's a good one.
And also, how do you think those regular season stories, we talk about the redemption arcs, the young challengers, the legacy quests, how might those actually change or intensify under the playoff spotlight? Something to chew on? Thanks for taking this deep dive with us.